Oh, wait. The noise I was making wasn't getting picked up by my mic. I'm sad. Man, it was a great noise too. You guys would have loved it. Yeah, it's Elden Ring time. God, I'm so tired. I feel like I'm dying, man. Uh, Hold on. We're having some technical issues here. Yeah, how you guys doing? Ow. Shit, I pushed against the wall and spun myself. Um, uh, here, give me a minute. Okay, so epic funny prank. We're actually playing Ape Escape today. If I can remember how to start this fucking thing. How do I just... Why... This thing is so difficult. Like, it doesn't just have a button to start the last thing you were playing. It's very annoying. Actually. It's gonna show? Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you, OBS. Oh, there we go. Finally. Okay. Is there a way to turn off the thing that pauses it every time I click out of the menu? Because every time I have to do something with OBS, it pauses the thing, and then I imagine that's probably annoying. Let me see if there's an option to do that. I don't know. How do I... Can you go away, menu, please? Thank you. Man, I'm a bit mad my country doesn't exist. Yeah, it's kind of stupid like that sometimes. I guess they do it sometimes because, like, if the currency isn't worth enough, they do it like that. They bar those countries from being able to sub or pay for certain things because they don't want people... They essentially don't want people switching using a VPN to get, like, cheaper shit. And so sometimes they'll just block the country entirely. Which, you know, obviously sucks for everyone that's actually, you know, legitimately living there. But other times they just don't have any payment processors that actually have service there, and it's just, I don't know, it's dumb. I never really understood it. Hell yeah, we starting the good stuff.
I've just finished evaluating the new gadget for the professor, and we've sent it over to you. You'll find it in the training room. As the professor's already told you, if you don't complete the training, you can't advance to the next area. Good luck.
I forgot they actually have this character talk in the game. They never explain her existence, but... I love the RC car. In Ape Escape 3, they go fucking crazy with some of the RC car stuff they have you do. Like, they have these, like, massive tracks and shit for you to do to get, like, secret monkeys and objectives and stuff like that. It's pretty nuts. It's one of my favorite gadgets just because it's pretty,
Spike, something has gone terribly wrong. The professor and Natalie are nowhere to be found. The laboratory has been ransacked and much of the equipment has been destroyed. The apes were here and I believe they've taken the professor and Natalie away with them. You're now being transported to Spectre's base area. His exact location is unknown. All I can tell you at this time is that his base is an old factory building located in the middle of town somewhere. Spectre's taken it over and is now using it to manufacture weapons. But first, before you head over to the base, find the energy storehouse. The energy storehouse is the heart of Spectre's factory. By destroying this, you'll shut down all the power to his base. The energy storehouse is hidden somewhere within a nearby park. Please hurry! The professor and Natalie may be in great danger. One more thing. The base has a heavy and very powerful security system that will not be affected by the power shutdown. So be careful.
I forgot what I was saying. Okay. Yeah, the dub for this game isn't bad.
Let's go!
Surprisingly. Well, not, I shouldn't say surprisingly, but... Oh my god, I missed. But it's probably one of the most memorable levels for me, other than the dinosaur one. Just because, like, how often do you have a level in a game where you actually have to go inside of a dinosaur? But the music when you get into the underground area is just, it's so good. Oh. There's a robot. Oh my god. No. No, come here. Get over here. Get over here. Now. Fuck.
No.
I mistimed it. No. You can just stun lock that thing, but I kept fucking doing it, swinging too early. So I don't know what these little, like, onion-looking things are, but I really like the noise they make. Ow. So I can't remember if this robot has, like, a monkey in it, or it's just an enemy. Well, they're... I was... You know what? Fine. I'll just do it the normal way. Oh, no. It just gives me an extra life. Okay. Oh, can I not get up there from here? Or maybe I need to slingshot this guy. Actually, I think... Oh yeah, you're supposed to get up here through the sewer. I remember now. I remember now. Get good, says the robot. Yeah. Even even Ape Escape can't escape the getting good. Oh my god. Random ass bee, get out of here. Why is there just a random wrestling ring up here? The hell? Okay. I don't remember that being there. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, I love the music in this level. Once again, I'm gonna say that about every level, but, you know, it is what it is. I guess that's what happens when you have a great soundtrack. Oh, no, that's another spot you gotta do a roundabout to get to. Come on, get out of here. Get out here, Stinky. Come here, monkey. Oh my god, it killed it. Come on. Come on. Oh my god. Okay. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get the fuck out here. Ow. Oh my god. Come on. Come on. Get out here. Come on. Fuck it. Get a different fucking monkey. Ow. Oh, I didn't realize that was a fucking hole there. It's really hard to tell with how small the resolution is on my screen. Oh. A bomb monkey obtained. Come here, Stinko. I like how it just has kids written all over the walls down here. Like, is that a gang? Is that what that's supposed to be? Or is it just trying to be like, yeah, some children have indeed existed here? Oh. How was it I got to get up there again? Oh, right. I gotta come around the back. Oh my god, no. I'm stuck. No! Please help. I remember struggling so much with this area as a kid. This shit was so hard. Like, at the very least, you don't die if you fall down, but the amount of times, like, having to come back up and do it again is, like, insane. Yeah, we gotta get over here. Ow. There.
Yes.
These levels feel so short the first time you come through them. Like, they're not that long to begin with, but, like, the first run through when you don't have, like, the extra stuff to get the rest of the monkeys, it just feels so fast. Doesn't help, like, I have played this game so many times. But even then, there's still stuff that I forget or whatever. Capture 7 monkey. Becomes a monkey. This song is super good. Dying. Oh hell yeah, it's tank time. Wait, how do I... Right. So you actually have to control the individual tank treads with... So left stick is left tread, right stick is right. So you have like this weird-ass control scheme. But it actually works pretty well. Me a monkey. But you're monkeying around, man. So I like how the plot of this is basically Monkey escapes from zoo, gets a helmet that makes him smart, and he starts producing fucking weapons. Like, he becomes a weapons manufacturer. Like, what's he gonna do with that? I mean, I guess you kind of need it if you intend to take over the world. Oh my god, I missed that life. I'm stupid. Did I get everything here? Yeah. No. Oh, well, I wasn't low on health anyway. It's fine. Where'd he go? Ow. Mother... You quit shooting me. Don't you do it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Stupid monkey. Stupid monkey don't know nothing. Struggled with this level a lot too as a kid. I can never get the timing right on a lot of these levels. Oh, I'm supposed to lower that platform first somehow. I think. Where would I do that? He's up above me. There might be another monkey I missed outside that I need to open that door. Oh, I must have gotten them all. Okay. Oh, I'm fucking stupid. I thought this was the door to the outside, and that's why I wasn't going through it. My brain is small. I actually have the memory of a goldfish. Ow. Fuck you. Oh, that's just like a checkpoint, basically, for the car. Yeah, I was really bad at these RC car parts as a kid for some reason. It's not that hard to control, it's just, I don't know. When you're little, sometimes you're just kind of just bad at everything, so... No! Ah, son of a bitch. I had a missile launcher. Fuck you. It started me all the way back here. Lame. It's fine. It's fine. Oh my god. Just ignore that. Oh my fucking god! Why do I say anything? As soon as I say something, that's when everything goes wrong. There we go. Jesus. It's getting way too impatient. There we go. Missile monkey acquired. Oh, this bit. I remember this. I remember this. I remember having to get my dad to help me with this part. Because I could never get the timing right. Now it's easy peasy. There we go. Fuck. And I mistimed it. Shit. Camera. There we go. Yeah. So something that's kind of funny is like this game feels like coming back to it, it's not as hard as I remember it being, but I played through Ape Escape 3 like relatively recently again, and it's actually still like pretty challenging in some parts. Like they really stepped it up with like all the platforming and stuff in that game, so it's kind of, there's a lot more to it than this first game. So I mean, I guess this is more of like the, you know, where they were still experimenting with a lot of stuff because, you know, brand new game, new franchise and everything, so. It's just kind of sad the franchise died. I mean, I get it because it's, you know, not the most popular thing in the world, but I miss it a lot. I miss the style of game. It's all just about, you know, platforming and interesting mechanics. It's kind of sad thinking that, you know, one of the few still living remnants of this era are like, I mean, shit, I don't think anything from PlayStation 1 is still really around. Most stuff that started on PS1 and went to PlayStation 2 kind of died off when PlayStation 3 came around. I was gonna say Ratchet & Clank, but Ratchet & Clank didn't start on PlayStation 1. It was always a PS2 game. But, I mean, Ratchet & Clank is still around, I guess. But, you know, Sony killed off so many iconic series. I mean, I guess Crash Bandicoot has kind of persisted, but Activision, you know, despite putting out another Crash Bandicoot game, I think, what was it, last year? It's pretty much killed it because they just deleted the team that worked on those games. There was some rumor of a new Spyro game, but that pretty much died along with Toys for Bob getting axed by Activision. The remasters were really good, and so I was really happy to hear that there was like some possibility of a new Spyro game happening, but unfortunately never. I don't know. It's hard to say what will happen anymore. Stuff is so unpredictable now because it's like you never know when they'll just decide like, oh no, sorry, clearly nobody likes this game anymore, and just fucking kill it. Or they'll bring it back and put some kind of fucking loot boxes or horrible monetization in it and fucking ruin it. And, you know, I'd rather a franchise I like stay dead than get resurrected in some kind of monkey's paw fucking fiasco where it's like, oh yeah, we brought the game back, but now you have to fucking... the only way to play the game is through 17 billion microtransactions, and it's like, kill me. Oh, this level's sick as fuck. Also, one of the more annoying levels to find monkeys in. These boss levels are always the ones that take the longest because there's usually more monkeys, and they're also typically in more difficult places to get to. But music also a banger. And see, again, this is why I feel bad about some of these monkeys, because he's just a monkey secretary doing his monkey secretary stuff. And I think this pool is actually like a secret area that you have to open. Ew? I never knew you could get up here from here. I never tried that before. Oh, well, that door's not opening, so... Ow. Fucking missile monkeys, man. Pain. What are you doing, monkey? Oh, that actually knocks him down? Oh, shit. I didn't think it would, but... Oh, you turd. I'm gonna die. Get the fuck out of here. I think the intended way to get that monkey down is to use the slingshot, but I legit didn't know that doing the slam on top of him would actually knock him down. But yeah, like Ape Escape 3, the levels are fucking massive compared to the first game. And I think there's more monkeys in total. I'm not 100% sure though. But they're generally tougher to catch too. I really love 3. I know there's some people that didn't like it much, but I love it. I love the aesthetic of it. And the soundtrack is, of course, amazing. One of my favorite games of all time, for sure. Give me that money. that money. Ah, no, you bitch. Is it that door that opened? I think so. Yeah. Some of these enemies are so weird. Like, what are these supposed to be? Why are they here? Just like some weird mushroom guy. Oh, I can go past without killing it. Okay. I don't want to kill it. It's too cute. I don't want to kill it. No! Motherfucking monkey with a laser gun. Right, where you at, motherfucker? Also, as a kid, I had a really hard time understanding, like, the weird analog stick controls where, like, you had to control each side independently. Like, that rowboat part, it took me fucking forever to do because my brain could not wrap my head around controlling it like that. And I was like, I don't know, I was really weird about things, and it really bothered me that he was, like, sitting backwards in it. So I was like, no, you're supposed to go forward. And then, like, yeah, that was another bit that I had to get help with. Okay, defeated. I'm just through here. Oh, this fucking area. Oh, we'll come back to it. On our second run through. Probably gonna need that.
Oh, Spike.
Spike!
Professor, Natalie, I'm here. Don't worry, I'll get you out of here.
Oh, no, you don't. I still need them to help me, so they're not going anywhere. Ah! You're really starting to bug me. I'll never cooperate.
Baxter's voice acting is just a little weird in this one.
You'll be sorry.
Take them away.
When I first played Ape Escape 3, because I skipped over 2 because I never saw it, because like
Hey, look at us.
I played these games mostly through rentals.
Let him go.
Ape Escape we had. Ape Escape 3 I rented a bunch until I actually, I think my dad bought it for me actually. I was kind of upset that his voice changed. But looking back on it, it's probably a good thing. Oh shit. Also, the boss fights in 3 are a lot more exciting. The Freaky Monkey 5 or whatever they're called. They're fucking iconic. I love those bosses so much. And I know they show up in the second game as well, but like I said, I haven't played it, so. But we will play that on stream, and that'll actually be my first ever playthrough of Ape Escape 2. Oh, fuck. I'm really surprised we haven't gotten another Ape Escape 2. I think 2 is the best if I remember, which I don't. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that the Ape Escape 2 soundtrack is not good. Or, sorry, it's not bad. It's just not as good as the first and third games, because they changed composer, and I don't like the music as much. Fuck. No, son of a bitch. I can't remember the music from any of them. Yeah, I listen to these soundtracks like pretty regularly. And if you listen for it, I do tend to use Ape Escape music in the YouTube videos I make. Nostalgic and a lack of memory kind of way for these games. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a good thing sometimes. Like, if you don't remember anything from a game, it's kind of like getting to actually re-experience it for the first time, you know? Ow. Man, this boss kind of long. Yeah, that's because I died. But it is a pretty long fight. I don't have any ammo. At least not the right kind. So I wonder if the homing stuff would work. I don't actually know. Oh, I could have run up and hit it. The propellers turn off in that part, because normally you can't run up to it, but I wasn't thinking. Oh yeah, I can just do that. Okay. I missed. No, son of a bitch. I didn't start running soon enough. Ah. Motherfucker. I'm actually getting outskilled. There we go. Man, that took way longer than it should have. Oh yeah, just the whole thing crashes down on top of me and explodes, but I'm fine.
Well done. I am impressed. I can't believe you made it this far.
That's right. I won't be beaten by you. Now return all my friends.
I'm not giving up that easily. I just had another brilliant thought. So I have to run now, but I'll see you later. You can be sure of that. See ya!
Hey, wait a minute. Where do you think you're going? Wait! Yes!
Listen, if there's anything to be said about Spectre's voice actor, it's, you know, he definitely put his heart into it. At least a little bit, you know? You know, it's funny, Europe got a different English sub for some reason. Really? Do they need like do they do like British versions? Like with British voice actors or something, or weird. Oh hell yeah, Monkey Madness, let's go.
Welcome back to the amusement park. I've been expecting you. But we're not here to have fun. This is all about payback. You've ruined my plans one too many times. You've captured some of my soldiers, and in return, I've decided to take your little friends. If you want them back, you'll have to play a simple game of hide and seek. You see, I've hidden the professor and Natalie somewhere in the park, and it's your job to find them before something terrible happens. The soldiers in the area are angry and ready for retaliation, and I won't be responsible for their actions. Take a look around. I fixed up the park just for you. Are you ready for the ride of your life?
I'm going for it.
Hell yeah. Cowboy monkey time. How many? Yeah, there's a shitload of monkeys in this level. Ow. US Spectre sounds like he needs a nap. Yeah, he does sound kind of sleepy. But I mean, hey, being an evil monkey overlord, it has to be a lot of work, right? Hell yeah, are you ready for the best music in the game?
Ah, Professor! Are you hurt? No, no. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. How are you? Are you okay? I'm fine. Good. Well, I'm glad to see that you're all right. Oh, what a predicament I'm in. I need to get out of here and back to the lab. Do you think you can help me? Sure, but how do I get in there? The entrance is at the very top. You should be able to get in here from there. All right, I'll be right there.
Oh. Well, I just immediately died. Okay. Job. Yeah, this is not only the final level, but also the longest level in the entire game. And it's like, it's very long. There's like 2 halves to it. Ah! My fucking depth perception is whack, dude. Oh my fucking god. Why'd you let all the apes out? I don't know. They looked like they needed some time outside. Can't be fun being cooped up inside all the time, you know? I say as I never leave my house. No! Son of a bitch! You know what? Maybe you're the ape who needs to escape? It's so true. I think we'll be getting a very good listen to this song. Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to my circus.
Ow. Ow. Like how he doesn't even do anything, he just rolls. It's supposed to be like a mini boss, but he doesn't do anything. Oh, there he goes. I lied. My guy's just chilling on his ball, man. Yeah. Listen, he threatened me. He did it first. Oh yeah, fun stuff. If you only have 1 health there and you fall through, you just fucking game over. And now he is the ball. Oh my god. That is so hard to avoid.
Thanks for saving me. I'm so glad to see you, and glad to see you're safe. You've gotten stronger.
Thanks to your gadgets, Professor.
No, the gadgets don't contain
You're really
real-
gaming. Yeah.
It's all
I'm
in
such
how
a
you're
gamer.
able to use them. The true power is inside of you, Spike. You've grown, you've learned a lot, and you've truly become stronger.
You think so? Thanks, Professor, but I don't feel any different.
By the way, Spike, have you been able to find Spectre yet?
No.
Okay, I'll go back to the lab and fix the equipment. If we don't hurry, Spectre may change history forever and destroy us all. I'm afraid there isn't much time though, Spike. Maybe you should continue to search for Spectre in the amusement park. It could be dangerous, so
Like how the
promise me
professor just doesn't even care about Natalie.
Well,
She's fucking gone. Natalie's fucking dead. He's like, man, I hated that bitch anyway. Are you ready for the terror coaster? I remember this segment kind of being the thing that kind of kept me from beating the game for a long time. Because it was too hard. Ow. It might still be too hard. Oh god, I'm down to 1 now. Oh, okay, I made it. Not even close, baby.
hey, how's it going?
Well, don't just stand there. Get me out of here.
I can't reach you from here. I've got to find a way in there.
There must be a way in here somehow. I remember that they walked me around that way. It took a long time. Just find a way and get me out of here. Will you hurry up?
Okay.
Oh, hurry up. Please get me out of here. It's cold. I'm scared and I have a fear of heights.
Yes, it is. Nah, he's just a happy little ghost. Okay. Looked like there was a gap there, but I guess I was wrong. I look like a Luigi's Mansion enemy. Can I make this? Oh, shit. I can, in fact, not make that. Okay. Ow, secret room. Ow. Oh my god.
Ow, hey! Couldn't you bring me down a little more gently?
Well, it's not my fault. Didn't you see that the cage fell on its own? That's the thanks I get. Hope you didn't hit your head too hard.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that. Now, where is Spectre?
I haven't found him yet.
What about Jake?
Nope.
Ah, what have you been doing all this time?
Damn, okay. Why did I even save you?
Where are you going?
I'm going back to the lab. We can't find them or beat them without our equipment. Besides, you don't need me here. Ah! What was that?
No wonder the professor didn't even mention her. Yeah. So ungrateful. God. Is there another area over here? What is? Also, I like that detail of how the music is quiet in this area, because the music is playing out in the main area, but not in here.
gotcha.
Kids. Really? Why would you put an arcade in like this fucking underground dungeon? It's not a great spot for that, don't you think? Maybe this is just the storage? I don't know. Does seem a little weird.
You've gone farther than I thought you would. But the fun is just beginning. Listen carefully. Go to the go-kart.
Are Jake and Spectre the same voice actor? They sound really similar.
This will be the final showdown. But believe me, it won't be as easy as rescuing the professor. There's no turning back, so don't whip out now. Let's see what you're made of.
Jake, we don't have to do this. Just come back to the lab.
Don't even bother, Spike. You and I have always been good competitors, but this is it. Let's settle this once and for all.
No, but Jake's is named Peter and Spectre's is named Pete, so they're basically the same. Oh, shit. Oh my god, it's giving birth. That's how cars are born. The only thing Spectre's VA is credited for in IMDb is this game, and Jake's only has one other credit. Huh. I mean, hearing the voice acting from this, I'm not totally surprised. It's not the greatest. And it was probably just like whoever did the localization for this game probably just had people from the studio do it. So they probably weren't actually like accredited voice actors or anything like that. But Jake's fucking dead.
Jake!
What? Where am I?
Jake, are you okay?
Spike? Oh, this is so weird. I don't remember. I can't remember what I've been doing.
Are you okay? Don't you remember anything at all? Have you forgotten about the apes? Or about working with Spectre?
Spectre? Apes? What are you talking about? Ow, 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 ouch! My head.
Yes, it's really you. You're back to normal. I'm so glad to see you again.
I do remember something about Spectre and apes or something, but what?
Yeah! I'm so glad you're
Ouch!
back. Let's go
You're
tell the
hurting me.
professor.
Put me down.
Wow.
Oh, look, you've broken the spell. It's just as well. I really don't need you anymore anyway. Everything's going exactly as I planned it.
Who's that?
It's Spectre.
Spike, I guess I underestimated your strength. You're smarter than I thought.
You know what's fucked up? Looking at Spike makes me want McDonald's.
We'll conquer the world together. When we're a team, no one will be able to beat us.
You're crazy if you think
I actually want some fries so bad.
Relax. Just meet with me.
I've had like a massive craving for McDonald's fries for the past few days.
You'll find me in my new castle in the middle of the amusement park. Come as my guest. I'll even leave the entrance open for you. I'll be waiting.
Are you really going?
Yeah, I've got to catch Spectre.
I'm going with you. Ouch.
No.
God.
better if you go back and help the professor.
Listening to the dialogue with like headphones on and like hearing it up close is like
But
it's not great. It's not as good as I remember.
okay. I understand. I'll do that. I'll get back right away.
Can you get back there on your own?
Of course. No sweat.
Okay then. I'm going too.
Okay. Spike! Good luck.
It's charming and how not great it is. Yeah, it really is. Like, and that's the thing. Like, you can tell that they cared about this game, you know? That's something that I think is missing from a lot of games nowadays. And I mean, hey, nothing wrong with like having better quality and stuff like that. But, you know, it's just this era of like everything being new and experimental and like voice acting in video games in general being a new thing, it's just there's something so special about it, you know? Whereas now it's like Nolan North will be in like 700 fucking video games you've played, and you know, you'll hear like the same 5 people in every single video game, and it's just kind of like, I'm almost tired of voice acting. I'm almost tired of hearing voice actors. I'd almost prefer games with no dialogue. Hell yeah, giant space castle, let's go. Yeah, but can you imagine if the new Resident Evil games had the voice acting level of Resident Evil 1? Oh, God. Yeah. That would be pretty awful. Because I guess part of the reason why it's so charming in this context is because, like, you know, the graphics are still, you know, they're very low poly, they're, you know, pretty crusty and, like, not nearly as polished as they are now. So I guess hearing the like not fantastic voice acting in a game like this feels fine, whereas like if you were to hear this same level of voice acting in a game like, I don't know, fucking the new God of War, you'd be like, ew, what the fuck, this is disgusting, I hate this game sucks, you know? But I mean, I guess it's different also because like those games are so story focused, and you know, it's really important to have good voice acting to sell the story. Where are the monkeys at? They're supposed to be here. Oh, maybe not yet. Never mind. No, he pressed the monkey emergency button. I love the way the music kicks in this level. It wasn't an emergency button, that was the button for the stereo. Oh, okay, it looked like there was something in that direction, and there was not. Okay. Good to know. Ow. Oh. Come on, get up there. Am I missing something? Ah! Son of a bitch. I didn't... No, I think I'm just supposed to go back outside now. There's the homies. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I think he was invincible during that spawn animation. Ow. Oh, he's got like a full-on jumpsuit now. Ow. I don't know, I guess one of the most appealing things about this game and this sort of era of games, just they have so much personality.
Oh no!
Whereas like now everything is so trying so hard to be cinematic and like this grand 80-hour long Marvel experience, and it's like, man, I don't care about that shit, man. Like, I just kind of miss games being fun for the sake of it, you know? Rather than it having to be some kind of... something so... profound and... fucking... yeah, like cinematic. I don't know, I just don't like that shit. I mean, with some exceptions. Like, I'm not saying I don't like story-oriented games, but like, you know, games like Nier and Nier Automata, like those games are fucking fantastic. They're like my favorite games ever. But they're done in such a way that it's not like, it doesn't feel pretentious or like it's trying to, I don't know, appeal to like a movie watching audience, you know? And I don't think anyone could really argue that there isn't passion behind those games either, you know? Oops. Yeah, basically I'm being a fucking hipster. Games were better before it was mainstream. But I mean, we've seen that happen time and time again, where like a medium or something gets so corporatized and you know, just taken over by these like fucking dudes in suits, and it just gets fucking, it just gets so watered down and lame that it's like, man, I wish we could just go back to when, you know, games were made by a team of like 20 people with, you know, just kind of basically gambling on it. But now it's like games are so big budget that it's like they're so averse to taking risks that it's like, yeah. The game will have like a $40 billion budget or some shit, and then like if it fails, they'll never make another one ever again. Whereas like in this day and age, like even if the game didn't do like super crazy well, they would still keep making them. But now it's like, oh, if they do a new Crash game or a new Spyro game or a new Ape Escape, if it failed, they would just axe it completely and just kind of... And it's not even like they would sell the rights. They just fucking sit there and hang on to it forever and nothing gets done with it. What am I doing here? What am I missing? These doors should open, right? Or is this all there is to this area? The other sad thing is like the standards, like people's expectations for games now are so high that it's like, even if you tried to put something out like this, it probably wouldn't succeed because people would be like, oh, this is just like some shitty PS1 game, like this, you know, this isn't 40 hours long, like, Like, if you can't spend 5,000 hours doing 7,000 pointless side quests, it's like, suddenly it's a shit game, you know? I fell between them. Oh my god. I think I could do well as an indie. I mean, maybe. But I don't know. I don't know who holds the rights to Ape Escape anymore. Hell, I'm not even 100% sure who the studio that did this game in the first place is. Or did this series of games, I should say. You know what? I fucked that up. I need to just go back. Oh my god. But like, I don't know. I think maybe if they released a remaster of this game and then, you know, kind of tested the waters on that, maybe we could have some chance of seeing a return. Because, I mean, that's what happened with Crash and Spyro, and they were going to get new games, and Crash did get a new game. So they were clearly successful enough in that endeavor, so I don't think it's completely out of the question. I think, just like I said, like, the expectations are just too high now that it's like, they wouldn't be willing to take that risk because there's too much money at stake now. Whereas, like, before, you'd have a team of, like, I don't know, fucking, like I said, 20 people with a budget of, like, you know, $100,000 tops kind of thing. And so it was like, okay, yeah, you know, we could probably stomach the loss, you know? But now it's like everything's got to have fucking Star Wars budgets. So it's like, if it's not guaranteed to make them, you know, double their money back, like, they're not even willing to attempt it. And I mean, that's kind of the same reason why movies are just kind of not great anymore, you know? They're so sterile and lame. Is there anything else in here? No. Oh wait, I'm supposed to go up. So yes, welcome to Philosophical Discussions of Modern Media with Raven. Ultimately, I think it just comes from a place of sadness, yearning for the video games that, you know, actually appeal to me the most. Because, I mean, sure, I can play fucking League for, you know, thousands of hours of my life because it's just so dumb and repeatable that it's like, you know, I just turn my brain off and play it. You know, same with things like Call of Duty or whatever, but like, there's just nothing quite like this anymore, you know? Oh my god. I mean, I guess you could say like Mario, but like, I don't know. It's just not the same. Because like this is just such a unique concept, and like, and I guess I've just kind of been burnt out on Mario for a long time. Like, I think after Galaxy, I was just kind of like, I just don't really care anymore. Also, I like how this area gives out so many lives. Just because of that. Because of that. Gravity. I love gravity. Oh my fucking god. I love it. And so you could just keep collecting those same 2 lives over and over again and get to 99 if you really wanted to. It's like, I feel like it's also kind of rare nowadays to have games that have unique soundtracks, you know, that are just, you know, there's just not really much comparable to like a game like this with that has such a unique soundtrack, such a great selection of songs that all fit the levels, and everything's just so generic now, you know? Just feels like stock music more often than anything. You know, with a few exceptions, like Undertale, for example. I mean, there's a reason the music for Undertale and Deltarune is so fucking iconic, is because it's rare to get games that have such a unique sound anymore. And, you know, we're not counting, like, rhythm games, because that's, like, a completely different thing. And oftentimes don't even have their own music. I don't think it's that I'm too used to music. It's just like I'm too used to I'm too used to the kind of music that we're accustomed to now, where it's just like generic action shit, you know? Where it's like so many of these game soundtracks blend together that it's like you can't even fucking tell what game they're from. Like if you put, say, for example, God of War, if you put every single God of War soundtrack next to each other and tried to guess which game, which songs were from, I bet you wouldn't be able to fucking tell. Or like Call of Duty games. I mean, I haven't played too much of God of War. I played like the first 3 games a bit, so I might be talking out of my ass on that, but like, you know, it's just that thing where it's like everything is so sterilized and safe that like games don't stand out with their soundtracks anymore. I could instantly tell you, tell apart the Nier and Nier Automata soundtracks apart from every single game that's been put out in the last like 10 years. You know, same with Ape Escape. I could instantly tell that it's Ape Escape music. Same with Crash, same with Spyro. Like, there's so much identity and personality in the soundtracks themselves that it's like, even without the game around it, you know, there's so much soul just in the soundtrack itself that it's like the game's practically not even necessary. But they're just such a compliment to each other that it's like, it's just amazing, you know? I think a lot of big game companies are afraid of having soundtracks that are actually memorable, mainly because they hire Hollywood composers that follow the exact same formula for everything, instead of trying to get unique, creative people that will take risks with music. Exactly, that's the biggest point, is they're so afraid of risk that we're never gonna get the same kind of passion or personality in soundtracks or anything, you know? Either because they're direct, it honestly sucks that Gravity Rush was like the last breed of this era of Sony first-party games, and Sony seems to actively feel ashamed of this series. Either because they're directly biased against Japanese developers, or because the game didn't perform as well as they hoped, or both. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say what the reason is, but it's just like, I feel like everything is so Western-centric now that, like, everything has to adhere to that sort of Western media formula that, like, you're never gonna see games like Ape Escape ever again, you know? Because the game barely got any marketing at E3 and everywhere else. Yeah. And that's the thing too, like, without, if a game doesn't do well at something like E3, like, it's just, there's no hope for it, you know? And that's the other sad part. Because, like, games like Ape Escape had barely any marketing other than in, like, magazines, because that was the thing. And so it was always relatively obscure. Still, you know, a sizable fan base or whatever. But, you know, nothing comparable to something like you mentioned, The Last of Us 2, where it's like, you couldn't go 5 seconds without hearing about it. Oh, there's a slingshot button there. And, like, even more Western games that have a lot of personality, like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, and Ratchet and Clank, like, they're so rare nowadays. Like, you know, it was a miracle we got a 4th Crash game in the first place. And then, of course, Activision killed the team that did it, like, pretty much right after it came out, to get them to work on mobile games. Like, I also gotta say, though, the lowest common denominator gamer is also at fault, because at the end of the day, they are the ones who ask for boring generic games and buy boring generic games. Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of inescapable when things become mainstream, is, you know, they're always going to gravitate towards what makes the most money, and that's why, like, the only studios I have any respect for anymore are, like, indies or, like, AAA studios that actually stuck to, you know, the things that made games great. Like, I mean, but those are so few and far between that it's like, there's not even any point in hoping for it anymore. But, like, I've just gotten to such a point where it's like, I'm so, I can't look forward to anything anymore, because it's like, with games like Ape Escape, it was always like, oh man, I can't wait for the next Ape Escape. But, like, I'm never like, oh, I can't wait for the next Call of Duty. I can't wait for the next fucking Last of Us game. I can't wait for the next this and that. Because it's like, what is it that's keeping me with a series to begin with? You know, for Ape Escape, it's the style, it's the personality, it's the music, it's, you know, the concept. Whereas, like, now with modern games, like, every one of these modern games, the concept that they use is a dime a dozen. So it's like, if I play one game, I'm burnt out of every other game because so many of them are just the same. Oh my god, is it sneef time? Somebody redeem the sneef? Hey, here, hold on, I gotta make sure. Gotta make sure you guys can hear it. Let's turn that off for a moment. Okay, ready? Ready? There. Did you hear it? Did you get the sneeze? I think it's a matter of looking for the right stuff to look forward to. Like, yeah, Sony sucks ass, and so does Microsoft and Nintendo or whatever, but every now and then we get gems like Gungrave Gore from some small Korean studio. Yeah, but that's the thing, like, that's part of why it's kind of hard to have stuff to look forward to, because, like, 90% of the time you don't even know that these things are gonna come into existence until basically, like, right before they come out. So that's kind of what I mean. Like, it's hard to look forward to anything because it's like those kinds of games don't get marketed nearly as much as like Call of Duty or something else, where you'll just get like so oversaturated by it that it's like, I said, you can't go 5 seconds without hearing about it. And then, you know, you wind up missing out on so many of these gems and these games that wind up doing poorly when really they shouldn't, because they're so talked over and there's so much media surrounding these other games that they wind up getting forgotten, because it's like you just wind up never hearing anything about them. You forget they even exist, or you don't even know about them until someone makes like some long ass video essay being like, oh yeah, this forgotten gem, and it's like, I never knew this game existed. Like, I sure as shit never heard about Gravity Rush. Hell, for the longest time, I never even knew Nier Automata, that there was another game in the series. I thought Nier Automata was just kind of an anomaly. Like, it was just its own thing that came out of nowhere. And I remember as a kid, like, my main source for finding out about new games was through magazines. These PlayStation magazines that my brother would get, that had like the demo discs and shit like that. And like that's the stuff that I miss, you know? Like, you never would have heard about Ape Escape in mainstream news or like on social media or anything like that. Well, mainly because that shit didn't exist. But, you know, people just thought gaming was just this thing that nobody cares about. Like there was so little attention on it. Like, everyone thought it was just going to be this bubble that just kind of showed up and then disappeared. But it stood the test of time, and now it's just been so sucked dry by these fucking corporate vampires that it's like, everything's just so boring now. Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like even the marketing and reporting about games is so commoditized that, like, again, you're not gonna get passionate, legitimate exposure for interesting new games that challenge the status quo, because that doesn't make money. To be honest, I would say games now are just so much more accessible to who can develop them too, so it's not all bad. I mean, yeah, but that's why you go to indies. You know, like, you're gonna find way more passion and interesting ideas in indies than you ever are in any of the mainstream shit. Word of mouth is literally the only way to get good games to get attention now. Yeah, that and like YouTube content creators and stuff like that, I feel like that's really holy shit, dude. I'm so not focusing at all. That's like the only way that these games are gonna get attention. Or like you know, like reviewers like Seth or fucking shit. I had another example in my head, but it slipped my mind. But you know, they'll play like these random weird obscure games, and that will get me to buy a game more often than any other kind of review. Like, that was the reason I bought Synthetic, was watching his review of it. I go Signalis. Game is barely getting any mainstream coverage, but everyone who's played it is calling it a modern masterpiece of survival horror. Yeah, I've heard some stuff about it, but not much. But all they care about is views and ad space. So the easiest way to get it is to cover only the biggest games that are already super popular. Yeah. And that's the thing, like, reviews and games marketing is like, the games that need the marketing the least get the most, if that makes sense. You know, and that's kind of how it always is, the rich get richer kind of thing, and that goes the same in terms of attention. Those with the most attention get even more attention, whereas the ones that need it more don't get it. Like a good example, I doubt RuneScape would still be as popular these days if not for all the memes and like culture surrounding it, because it's barely marketed, and when it is, it's like, oh, people are like, oh, people still play this game. It's just that people are only now realizing that video games was a media behemoth and they're abusing it. Well, yeah, it's like the gold rush, or the, you know, it's like oil barons coming in to, you know, sop up all the natural resources as soon as they get word, you know. The minute something can be exploited, it will be. And that's why mobile games are so successful but so shitty. Is because mobile games abuse literally every single tactic to exploit the consumer that there is. Like, there is no genre there's no format of gaming that is more exploitative than mobile. Like, there are some genuinely good mobile games out there. Like, you know, not sponsored or anything, but there's one of those Dan Ball games called Stick Ranger. Genuinely really good game. Fucking... There's another few that I've played that are like, you know, that play like old school RPGs that are really good. Or like ARPGs. But, you know, it's just... a lot of it just makes me really sad, you know? Like, games can't just be games. They all have to be some kind of marketing or like some kind of gimmick to make money. It can't just be a game for the sake of being a game. Like, yeah, games aren't games anymore. They're these rich studios ATMs. Yeah, live service. Ugh. Not all live service games are bad, but it's like, anytime they introduce that kind of a concept in a game that has no business being one, when it should just be like a purely single player, just fun for the sake of it, just, you know, things that should be unlocks in the game for playing the game, are made into these stupid live service microtransaction gimmicks. And it's just, it's sickening and depressing, and like, nothing can just be fun to be fun. At the very, I do gotta say, at the very least, I particularly don't care about not being excited, or I particularly don't care about not being excited for a lot of modern games when there's like so many games that I missed out on over the years, actual hundreds of amazing games I've played from previous generations that are still good. Yeah, and I mean, that's part of why I constantly go back to games like Ape Escape and shit like that, because it's like, these games are just endlessly replayable because it's like, they're so much fun, and they're just fun. They're fun because that's what they cared about, was the games being just pure fun back in the day. Whereas now it's like, I'm never gonna replay a Call of Duty campaign game. Like, never. It's just not gonna happen. And then as soon as they discontinue the servers for the multiplayer, it's like, well, now it's just dead content.
I invited you in. So what do you think of my castle? Do you like it?
And I hate that shit.
This castle is the most
I can play through Spyro 100 times like I have. I can play through Ape Escape 100 times. I can play through Ratchet and Clank 100 times because they're always fun. They never stop being fun because there's nothing like them.
Stop this crazy plan already.
Why don't you stop fighting me and join me instead?
I will say, earning money off of making games isn't wrong. It's people want to make up. I'm not saying making money off of games is wrong. It's just how they do it. And like, when your sole focus is just as much profit as possible,
With my new powers
that's
and my
the difference.
superior intelligence, it would be so easy to put you under my control.
And like, the other thing too is people made games because they loved making games too. It wasn't always about making money.
Like this.
Like, yes, you need to make a profit to make it sustainable, but
Is that painful?
there's no passion in it anymore.
Join me.
It's just, it's a formula. It's like an algorithm. They know it's always about going for these demographics and hitting these certain points, these certain criteria to make the most money possible, rather than it just being, oh, we're gonna make a fun game
No match for my powers.
and hope for the best. You know?
I won't. Wow. What's going on? My powers.
Especially when there's no reason games should be expensive nowadays. You don't have to invest in huge celebrity voices or even voice actors at all. And yeah, that's another good point. Like, so many of these companies spend millions of dollars on like having Liam Neeson or somebody like that voice in a video game, and that's strictly to appeal to mainstream audiences, to like movie watchers and moviegoer type audiences, like lowest common denominator shit. That's not for anyone other than that.
Take this.
Like, there's no reason for that to exist, but it does because they want marketability, they want the PR, they want, you know, they want all that mainstream attention, because, and that's like, they care more about branding than they do the experience. And that's what games should be. They should be an experience, not just a, you know, it's just sad. Because there's so many games that have like a you know, the most bare bones shoestring budget that are just incredible games. Okay, well, we're not saying that they're bad voice actors, but it's not necessary. It's not needed to make a good game. Like, good voice acting certainly helps, but they don't need to be multi-million-dollar celebrities. Like, to me, that's just a waste of money, when you could put so much of that into the actual experience of the game itself, rather than wasting your time getting fucking, I don't know, Chris Pratt to voice your character. With Kingdom Hearts, it's warranted because Kingdom Hearts is backed by Disney, who has a lot of money and a super profitable IP, so the game will sell billions just out of brand recognition. You have the mouse in it sells, so they don't need to invest in live service or other shit to make the game back its budget. Yeah, that's also true. And like that's the thing. That's why they spend so much on those like celebrity voices, because when they have no other substance to the game, an actor like, you know, like Chris Pratt is gonna bring attention no matter what, because it has so much like instant recognition for these like wide demographics that it's like they're gonna get some degree of attention no matter what. And like, really, if you switched out those celebrity voices for another lesser known voice actor or something, would it even affect the game? Like really, it, you know, I'll say it again, like, good voice acting can definitely make a game much better, but if you play through a game without the sound on and it's still a good game, then you have a pretty damn fucking good game. Not to mention, like for example, like someone who's hearing impaired, are they gonna care whether it's Mark Hamill or Liam Neeson voicing a character in a game? Games having good personality visually and as a physical playable experience also contributes to how accessible they are to people with those sorts of impairments. Because if a game is good without any of this celebrity shit, and is playable and accessible to those that, you know, aren't even able to partake in voice acting, you know, that's huge. Like, you should be able to get along with just the writing and experience of the game alone. It shouldn't matter who the voice is. And I mean, obviously if you're gonna do voice acting, yeah, you should probably get somebody who's good at it. You know, and it's not going to sound like completely terrible, but again, you don't need someone who has an insane amount of mainstream attention already. Like, motherfucker. I think people would definitely care if Joker is voiced by Mark Hamill or not. Well, Mark Hamill is Joker. Well, okay. And I think that's different because, as well, like, I agree with what Howard is saying there. Like, when it comes to an iconic voice, if someone has been voicing a character for a long time and it kind of goes beyond the sort of modern pattern of, like, celebrity voice actors for the sake of them being a celebrity, you know, that's kind of different. And that's for like animated shows and shit like that. Like, and if they're gonna make a game with Joker in it and people know Joker for Mark Hamill, it's kind of like, yeah, you kind of have to. Like, Kevin Spacey in Call of Duty is the best example. Why did he need to be in the game? What does he really add? Yeah, exactly. It's just a marketing gimmick. Like, he doesn't add anything. No one's like, oh, my favorite part of Call of Duty was Kevin Spacey. I mean, certainly not now. Yeah, and they do the same thing with animation, yeah. It's not completely isolated to gaming, yeah. No, I know, but I'm just talking about, like, in the context of games, like, celebrities are important for movies, especially when they have such huge budgets, because, you know, the names, the brands of those celebrities are so important to getting attention to those movies. But, like, games, it's completely unnecessary. This is a recent thing. This is something that they started doing recently. It's completely unnecessary to the medium. In general, entertainment has become too commoditized, so it becomes harder to find the true gems. Yeah, no, I agree. And like a good example, in terms of movies, I watched Get Out recently, and that shit was good as fuck. And that came from one of the guys that worked on Mad TV, of all things. That dude came out of fucking nowhere with that movie, and it was fucking great. And you know, it's so rare to see those kinds of out of nowhere gems anymore. No, I mean, what's happening with games literally would happen to animation back when they realized you can make money off of them. Oh no, yeah, I completely agree. Like, if you look at cartoons like SpongeBob, you know, Steven Hillenburg never wanted it to go beyond the first movie. The second that man bites the dust, they did everything he said he never wanted SpongeBob to be. And they did the same thing. It's a pattern that will repeat itself. Every time there's a new medium or something that can be exploited, they will find a way to do it. They will make it as mainstream as possible, make it appeal to the broadest demographic as possible, and just fucking drive it into the dirt. It's resource. It's like resource exploitation that happens in the, you know, the big real world, but in a smaller sort of setting. It's like in a petri dish. You know, they will suck everything out of it until it's dead. Like, you will never replicate a show like the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob and the first movie. You will never get that feeling back in a new show unless someone really, really cares about how good it is, about the experience rather than the profit. Once again, consumers are also to blame. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. People don't want to use their brains. They don't want to be challenged. They don't want anything different. They just want the same old shit spoon-fed to them. And so, you know, and the thing is too, like on a personal level, on like an interpersonal experience level, I barely know anyone who does that sort of mindless consumption. So it's almost like this phantom, like this broad consumer base that just consumes things without thinking, almost doesn't exist. But it's like a ghost. It's always there and it's always influencing things, but I've never seen it. You know what I mean? They also want that experience again. They want to recapture those same feelings again, but they don't want to expand their horizons and look for different things. They have just married their lives to the brand. And yeah, that's the thing. I am, of course, a sucker for nostalgia. Like, obviously, if they did a remaster or a remake of Ape Escape, I would probably be on that shit in an instant. I kind of get what you mean, but I do know plenty of people that are exactly like that, Raven. Well, I mean, yeah. It's not like you're never gonna meet it, but it's like, whenever I do have conversations with people about like these movies and games and stuff, like it does kind of feel more like it's not that common, even though it is extremely common. But maybe that's just kind of like a, you know, it's like a cognitive bias because you know, you're surrounding yourself with the people that have similar experiences and ideas to you. Like, that's just a kind of inevitable. And so that's part of it. I don't see people that do that as often because I'm not one of those people and I don't surround myself with those people. If I do, it's just purely coincidence. And I think I think a lot of that is older generations. I feel like they're more the ones to like consume in that fashion, and it feels to me like our generation is a bit well, I can't even really say that because a lot of our generation is very much the oh, no negativity ever kind of people, and then but for some reason that translates into never criticizing anything.
Spectre will
You know?
definitely be back, and when he is, I'm sure he'll do more evil.
That's why like people like Disney adults are the people that are like the biggest personality red flags to me. Like the people that just endlessly are just like, oh, I love Disney. Oh my god, I can't believe Princess Leia's a Disney princess now. Oh my god, Black Widow's a Disney princess. Like,
any of them wandering around.
oh my god. Like they don't even have any concept of what made Disney so special in the first place. Like back in the day, they have no concept of that anymore. They just love the idea of it. They fell in love with the idea of Disney and not what made it special. And so now these mindless fucking weirdo Disney people are what drives Disney. Also, yes, it is time to go back to every level in the game and complete them. And I like to do them in order, so we're doing them in order. It also really depends on the culture. Yeah, of course. I mean, it depends on where you go and who you talk to, but...
This is the magic punch. It's really powerful.
Remember when Disney backstabbed Robin Williams by marketing Aladdin off of his appearance? I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember all the details about that.
Well, good luck and be careful.
But I know they kind of fucked him over quite a bit. Because, I mean, it's fucking Disney. Like, and yeah, that's the thing. People are so willing to ignore all the exploitation and shitty, horrible things Disney does, and they're just like, oh my god, I love Disney! And they, like, make it their entire fucking identity. And I never understood that. Like, how you can surround your identity around a brand. Like, I don't get it. Like, how... it's so mindless and so fucking weird to me. Like... You're literally basing your personality off of a corporation. Like, how does that not seem fucked up to people? Especially when, like, the quality of the brand has gone downhill, but people are in so much denial. Yeah, it really is. It's like, it's sunk cost fallacy on such a weird, fucked up scale. Like, it's drilled so hard into their brain that they have some kind of investment in this. But they don't even realize that it doesn't matter. That, like, these brands don't matter. They don't give a shit about you. They never did. Or when they did, those people are long gone. So, but people have invested so much emotion in these things. It's the same reason people stay in cults, and why cults are so effective at keeping people locked into them. It's because they prey on that emotional investment. And so it's like, if they suddenly decide they don't like that thing anymore, it's as if, you know, the 25 years they spent liking the thing are just gone. Like, no, you can still like those things, but you can still be critical of that thing. Basically, Robin was voicing another animation. He decided to go on board and voice Genie because he saw how passionate the animators were to make the Genie for him. But when he went on board, he said he didn't want Disney to market the movie off him voicing the Genie. A little bit was fine. Oh, I see. But yeah, like for example, I fucking love Ratchet and Clank, but I'm so skeptical of anything they put out with the name on it because I'm so worried about that sort of Disneyification. And they kind of did that with the newer games. And so it makes me nervous whenever I hear a new game coming out. Like, I was so worried about Rift Apart being like this fucking cynical Disney shit. But like, and the thing is, we all have that nostalgia bias. We all do. Every one of us has it, at least somewhat. But the difference is being aware of it and then being able to still be critical of, you know, the people that are in charge of it. You know, because I liked Disney when I was a kid. I fucking, like, Hercules and Bug's Life and Toy Story were like my favorite fucking things ever. And I still love those movies. But I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, I love Disney. Oh my god, my whole life is Disney. Oh my god, Princess Leia, Disney princess. Oh my god. You know, just because it's Disney. Just because they're related. Like, no. Like, that's fucking stupid. Just because something is or was that brand doesn't mean the brand is still the same. Like people need to learn to look at these things less like the brand and more of the individual merits of it. And then, you know, also consider, you know, okay, well, where has that brand headed? Like, what direction has it gone in recent time? And, you know, but they rather than admit that the thing that they enjoy isn't good anymore, they would rather sit there and be in denial, but that just because it's that brand, that it's still the same. You know, they don't want to admit that it's changed. Disney hoped he would drop off from his other voicing, but Robin said no, so Disney went back on his word and basically marketed the shit out of the genie as Robin Williams. This was literally the current CEO's fault because he was so cocky that Robin would drop other product in favor of voicing for a bigger Disney project, so no other things would have the Robin marketing too. The current CEO at the time. Yeah. And, like, they do that shit all the time. But, like, people that are so obsessed with Disney just don't give a shit. Like, they don't care about the exploitation. They don't care about the theft or, like, the cynical nature of these, like, live-action remakes. Like, they don't care about what made those things special in the first place. They just care that it has the name. Like, the Lion King remake. That movie is fucking terrible. Objectively fucking awful. But because it has the name Lion King attached to it, people were willing to forgive so much of that.
Let's go!
And it was like one of the highest grossing animated movies of all time now. And people still call it the live action Lion King. There's nothing live action about it. It's entirely CGI. But people are like, oh, we should consider it like a whole new genre. Like, it's not animation, but it's not live action either. Like, what do you think CGI is? That like, they're not getting actual lions to do this. So, like, what are you smoking? But, you know, it's just, they want to stay ignorant. Made with Lion King remake CG and the movie is still garbage. But the thing is, like, sure, that's great and all, but it doesn't even look that good. Advancements or not, but it was wasted. And, like, why did it need to be Lion King? That's the biggest thing. Like, who cares about it being CG? Why did it need to be Lion King? If they wanted to make a fucking nature documentary, a CGI nature documentary, why didn't they just do that? Why did it need to be Lion King? And it's because they know that people are gonna go, oh my god, a new Lion King movie? I gotta go see it. And then, despite it having barely anything to do with Lion King, you know, other than just repeating these plot points beat for beat, people eat it up. And because it made so much money, they're gonna keep doing it. It's never gonna change. It's like, take for instance the Batman. The Batman used some of the same technology as the new Lion King. Advancements in technology only matter in art when it makes art better. Well, I do think it is true, because if it makes it worse or something, or it only causes harm to the medium, then it's not really an improvement. And I think that this focus on CGI has taken a lot of the soul out of a lot of these things. It can be done well and it can be used well, but I just don't think that, I don't think it being an improvement is always a good thing. Not everything, just because it can be improved doesn't necessarily mean it needs to be. Because, like, everyone misses the 2D animations of old Disney. Like, I don't think there's anybody other than, like, the weird fucking Disney people that are like, oh yeah, I prefer the weird, uncanny computer animations. Like, I don't think that's an opinion people have. I said advancement, but not necessarily advancement in what? In what do you mean? Oh, I have to hit the bombs. And I mean, like, improvement and advancement is kind of, I mean, isn't that kind of interchangeable, though? Like, they basically mean the same thing. So that Lion King's made advancements how CG could be done and presented. Well, but that comes back to Howard's point where, like, you know, it's only a good thing if, like, it only matters if it makes art better. Like, if they don't use that advancement for something that makes the medium better, like, then it doesn't matter. Like, personally, I don't really care what the technical achievements of something are if it's not good in the first place. Like, okay, if it brings something new to the table for other people to use, sure, but nobody else has a Disney budget. So it's ultimately not going to mean much. It's only going to raise the standard and make, you know, those smaller creators, those smaller projects be worse off because it sets this expectation that that's what it's supposed to be now. Like, when was the last time you saw a 2D movie in theaters? It's because people have this Disney expectation of, you know, everything having to be 3D animated or CGI. So if anything, it's only kind of made it worse. And that's where people misunderstand about standards. Something to add to that is that, like, this advancement in technology has also led to people in foreign countries being exploited just to deliver mediocre products. I mean, not you, but I mean those people who think the standards are realism. Yeah, and I mean, again, that falls on the problem of, you know, this rampant consumerism. Because rather than people, again, acknowledging what made these things special in the first place, they care more about, you know, it looking realistic. Because it's, oh god, nothing pisses me off more than when people are like, oh, it's a cartoon movie, that's for children, I don't want to see that. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you stupid? It's a medium. Like, something being animated doesn't make it for children. I think people are getting better about that now, but that's a lot of the reason why these 2D Disney movies fell off so hard. Because people associate realism and CGI with maturity, which is just wrong. It's completely wrong. And like, I'm glad that this, like, stylized animation is becoming more of a thing with these animated movies. Like, look at the new Puss in Boots movie, and like you've mentioned, Klaus, or Spider-Verse. That's like the most creative these movies have been in fucking decades. I'm so sick of the Pixar and Illumination fucking style. I'm so tired of it. I'm so done with it. It's so boring. Like, I can't get into it because it's just the same formulaic shit, but people eat it up because that's exactly that. It's a formula, and it's a formula that works. Illumination is the Nintendo hire this man of animation. No, for real. It's actually like Mario remade in Unreal Engine 5 of 3D animation. I mean, to their credit, the new Mario movie does actually look like it might be kind of decent, but the moment where I kind of felt like there were some red flags was when they started doing the fucking minion shit with the toads. Like, look at me, I'm adorable! Like, can we just go fucking 10 minutes without a movie having to be, like, forcefully self-aware? And breaking the fourth wall? Like, just stop. Like, it's just so cringe. Like, I just want stuff to be people that care and not just a formula to make money. And again, nothing wrong with needing to make money. I understand that things have a cost and you need to meet those costs. That's fine. But this distinct lack of passion and this thing of like only going for a precise formula to make the most money possible, that's the thing I have a problem with. I also care about how they're making that money. Because there's a big difference between, you know, yes, there's nothing wrong with earning money, but there's something wrong with earning money off of the backs of people who aren't getting paid, or are being exploited, or, you know, are being harmed in the process, or like if they're, you know, if their practices are harmful. You know, that kind of shit. That matters. How they're earning the money and what they're doing matters. And I think a lot of people forget that. Mr. Pratt as Mario still puzzles me, and that's another great example of what I was saying earlier about, you know, it just being for marketability. There's no reason Chris Pratt should be Mario. Nobody asked for this. Nobody asked for that. Nobody was like, oh man, you know who would make a really good Mario? Chris Pratt. He's not even Mario. He's just Chris Pratt. It's like they legitimately don't know how to set up the plot of a Mario movie or how to make the style work in CG, but they just keep throwing all these nostalgic references and self-awareness, hoping people won't notice how little they actually have to work with. And Chris Pratt as Mario is just the epitome of it. They don't know how to direct him. He didn't know how to act the part, but they're hoping people will ignore it because look, Chris Pratt. No, exactly. Like honestly, if you got somebody to make like a Mario anime instead, with like a studio that actually like cares about this stuff, they would do a way better job than Illumination, because Illumination is just the epitome of sterilized formulaic animation. Like, yes, hot take, Raven Lenore thinks a Mario anime would be good. The other day, I literally saw a low-budget, really stupid Mario anime that was made for this Japanese toy that was like a telephone thing, and it was actually kind of okay. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Like, I think a cartoon or something lends itself better to Mario, but even then, it's just a brain-dead platformer series. There's not enough substance there to make a movie. But okay, here we gotta do the sneeze. Hold on. Alright, are you ready? Are you ready? There you go. There. One of these days, someone new is gonna come in here and hear me doing that and be like, why the fuck is that even an option? See ya, Haru. Thanks for coming. Enjoy your lurking. End of the day, to sum it all up, I just wish there was passion again, you know? And I'm sure there are people within these companies that are passionate about what they're making, but it just doesn't come out because those are the people that don't get the attention, that don't get, you know, the time. You know? The people that are passionate are the ones behind the scenes that are being exploited. It's the same thing with every company. Yeah, no, absolutely. In US corporate culture in general, micromanaging is so common. Yep. And it's going to be part of every industry as long as this remains the norm. I mean, unless something changes, that's how it will always be. And it's depressing. That the people at the top are always the people, yeah, they're always the least qualified to make the decisions, and they make the most money. Well, sorry. Of course they make the most money, but that's why they make all the decisions, is because they have all the money. That's why you see, like, whenever a game company gets acquiesced by something like Activision, you know you're fucked. Because the guys that get into this, that do this, are not there because they care about games or because they want to make a good game or that they even know what makes a good game. They're just businessmen. They're there to make money. And so as soon as you see that kind of a takeover, it's like, no, we're fucked. It's just done. Because these majority shareholders are going to take over, they're going to make all of the decisions, and then all the people with the passion and the ideas are just swept under the rug, and it's just over. Like, Blizzard used to be, like, literally, like, one of the best game companies out there because they were so passionate about the games they made, and they made great stuff. And then it just fell apart. Pretty much every original Blizzard person was gone. And then it turned into, you know, the Cosby Room and breast milk hijacking. Like, holy shit. Like, you could not have gone more to shit more quickly than with Blizzard getting acquired by Activision. And it's sad. And I hate seeing it. And like, the people that cheer that stuff on, like these mergers and shit like that, always scares me. Like sure, them having more money to make games is great, but where's that money coming from and why? That's when I start worrying. And what are the conditions for them getting that money? That's what people should be concerned about, and yet they're just like, yeah, well, whatever. How the fuck do I get to this monkey? Fuck. Where is it? Oh, there's a ledge there. On God, there was a guy on a server I used to be in who unironically championed for the Disney/Fox merger just because they wanted an Avengers/X-Men crossover. Yeah, that shit. Oh my God, that makes the least sense to me. You want this permanent, likely irreversible merger to happen just because you want a one-time thing. Like, holy shit, you have to be some special kind of stupid. No. Not even because it's a one-time thing, it's because it's like, I want to see brand crossover with brand. Yeah, that. Like, I kind of get it to some degree, like, some of that stuff is cool, but for me the concern is like the reason for it. Like, why is it happening? Like, does it add anything? If it's just for the sake of, oh, I want to see thing I like be with thing I like, it's like, And yeah, it's not worth the cost of, you know, these companies getting a monopoly and essentially ruining the industry forever. Like, and that's why those Disney people freak me out, because it's like they don't care about the ramifications of these acquisitions, like, at all. It just doesn't seem to bother them, because they are more concerned about random property becoming a Disney princess just because, oh, they're part of the Disney brand and they're female, that, you know, it's like, just fuck off. Like, actually just go away. like why are you allowed to have opinions? Yes, it's their right, and, you know, I'm not gonna try to take that away from them, but, like, my god, are you ever fucking stupid? No one should ever be cheering for a monopoly. Ever. And yet they do. And, like, I guess, like, in the case of the Blizzard thing, like, it being acquired by Microsoft is not... In my mind, it's like, it doesn't make that much of a difference, because it's like, it's just them going from one merger to another. You know, Blizzard is going from Activision to Microsoft. It's kind of a net neutral thing, you know? And Microsoft is kind of doing good, you know, good things with games lately, so it's like, you know, not all bad. But at the same time, it's like, it's still sus, because, I mean, how many more are they going to acquire? What are they going to acquire? What happens when, you know, the leadership that was doing smart or good things goes away? What then? You know, and I think people lack this ability to see forward in time with these mergers that they want to have happen. Like, you know, sure, maybe it might be good in the moment or at the time, because, like, you know, like the example I gave, like, oh, sure, they get an increased budget for their games. And sure, at the time that might be good. They'll put out one good game and then suddenly they start all going downhill because they start becoming formulaic. They start dumbing down everything that made the games good in the first place and just spoon-feeding it to you, and then it's like, oh no, what have we done? We can't go back on this. Sounds like you're describing BioWare right now. I mean, I'm describing a number of companies. Blizzard especially, because I loved Diablo. And at one point I loved World of Warcraft. And that is an acquisition that I will forever feel sad about. And, like, I want to be hopeful for Diablo 4, but I'm not holding my breath. BioWare is the same shit, because it's like they made many classic CRPGs and they were acquired by EA. Yeah. And when Mass Effect came out, it was all downhill. Yeah. Yep. Because then every game had to follow the Mass Effect formula, and they kept dumbing down the RPG mechanics more and more. Yep. And that's always what I hate, where it's like these games were like these great, flexible, non-linear RPGs and stuff like that. And then as soon as some shitty company gets their hands on it, it winds up like barely being an RPG anymore. You get like one skill tree that it's like, well, you don't even really get any choice in it. You just kind of do it because you have to, you know? It's not about choice anymore, and that's what makes RPGs fun, is the choice, is the variety. And when you take away choice from an RPG, like, it's not a role-playing game anymore. the whole point, like, I know RPGs can have, you know, voiced and named protagonists, but like, to me, the real sort of identity lies in the ability to be your own character. Like, I don't want to just be some predestined, you know, generic protagonist and then just be given some dialogue options and then have them go, look, it's a role-playing game. Like, no, not really. It's really not. Like, I think, you know, loath as I am to be giving any credit to fucking Randy Pitchford, Borderlands was a good example of that. You have these set main characters, these protagonists you play as, but, you know, it still felt fun and flexible, and like you weren't railroaded into being any one particular thing. Just sucks how the CRPG genre is another victim of commoditization of gaming. Yep. I mean, every genre is. I mean, it's probably only a matter of time before visual novels are a victim of that too, if they're not already. Actually, no, I think they kind of already are with shit like, you know, all these fucking dumb, like the fucking KFC dating sim and shit like that. Like, that's just kind of like, dude, stop giving these people money. I know it's funny, haha, brand makes joke, like, but like, ugh. Every game needs, because now every game now has to have dumbed down RPG mechanics. You can't have complex mechanics. Every game needs to have an RPG skill tree. It really sucks that the game with the most RPG mechanics of recent years is fucking Cyberpunk. Yeah. It didn't really... yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about Cyberpunk. I do think it's funny after the anime came out how everyone was like suddenly doing this thing where it's like, oh, Cyberpunk was always good. Sure, buddy. I believe you. Like, we all just want to sweep under the rug all the fucking disaster that its launch was, just because they put out an anime that was, you know, an 8 out of 10. Like, that's a bit sus to me. Cyberpunk plot is probably good, but god, that gameplay. I didn't get that far into it, so I don't want to say too much on it. But, like, from what I have seen and what I've seen friends play, it's nothing that special. Yeah, like, I don't know. I think that kind of falls into that sunk cost thing where it's like people are too emotionally invested in this thing that they want to pretend that it was always good, or they want to justify the money they spent. Like, I pre-ordered the game. I shouldn't have. It was a fucking mistake, and I will never pre-order another game again after that. So, full transparency, I paid for the game, but I'm not sitting here being like, it was always good. Kind of depends on what the expectation is, because like I know a lot of people were legitimately expecting Cyberpunk to be GTA 6 when it was always going to be closer to a jank CRPG. Yeah, I mean that is a huge factor as well, like people getting the wrong idea. But like, I don't know. It was still a giant fucking mess when it came out. Regardless of what your expectations were, whether you expected it to be an RPG or whether you expected it to be a GTA clone, it was still a fucking disaster. And people are just like pretending like that never happened because, oh, I spent money on this game and I really like the anime. Like, come on, dude, you're better than that. You're better than that. You know, it's like Arcane for League. Like, nobody is suddenly going like, oh, League was always a great game and was never toxic because Arcane was great. But suddenly everyone's like, oh, Cyberpunk was... Ow. Thank you, Freezer. You know, people are suddenly pretending like there was never anything wrong with these things, and it's like, okay, but nobody's pretending that with League because of Arcane. And Arcane is like fucking fantastic. It is so good. It is genuinely such a good show. But I'm not out here being like, oh yeah, everyone should play League now. It's actually such a great game, and it's so happy and fun and not toxic at all. And like, there has never been any problems with League. Like, no one's saying that, and no one should just because it had a good TV show. You're fucking insane if you think that. And so I guess it's just kind of more that like weird brand loyalty, and like I will never ever understand brand loyalty. I've never been that kind of person to be like, oh yeah, you know, I just like fucking die hard defending a brand. Like I don't care about Insomniac. I care about Ratchet and Clank. I don't care about Insomniac. I care about Spyro. I don't care about Naughty Dog. I care about Crash Bandicoot. I don't give a fuck who's behind it. I don't care what brand owns it. I just want it to be good. I want my characters to be good. And I guess the brand is the characters themselves, but like, well, yeah, because who's behind it tends to influence if it's good or not. Yes, that is true, but like the thing is, what I'm getting at is like Disney, you know, I don't want, like, I don't look at something like Insomniac like people do to Disney, because it's like the same kind of passionate people could still make a good Crash Bandicoot game without it being Naughty Dog. You know, the same the same type of passionate people could still make a good Spyro game without it being Insomniac. You get what I'm saying? Like, Yoko Taro is Yoko Taro. Square Enix is something entirely separate. You don't like Square Enix, you like Yoko Taro. You like Nier. Do you think that it would be necessary for it to be Square Enix to make a good Nier game? Or do you think if Yoko Taro and those same sorts of passionate people could still make a good Nier game completely independently of Square Enix? That's what I'm talking about. Like, if the people that made the Spyro games branched off from Insomniac and started making new Spyro games, you know, that would be great. I don't give a shit about it being Insomniac. It doesn't need to be called Insomniac. I don't care who, like, what the name of the studio is. I don't give a shit about there being a Disney behind it. I care about the quality of the thing that I like. A backing brand is irrelevant to me. If any, to be fair, Squeenix was never really involved. If anything, they've always tried to push Nier under the rug until Automata was suddenly a success. They just suddenly care now because it's making money. So yeah, I'd care about Nier with or without the company involved. And that's what I'm talking about. You know, like, there's so many people who are like, oh my god, I love CD Projekt Red, or oh my god, I love Activision or Ubisoft. But without considering the thing that matters, which is the actual product, the identity of the thing you like. I don't like Hercules because it's Disney. I don't like Bug's Life because it was Disney. I liked it because it is what it was, because of the passion behind it, because of the people behind it. The individual people working on those movies don't get the credit. Disney does. That's what I hate, is that everyone's like, oh my god, I love Disney. But it's not Disney. What made those movies so good, so charming, so perfect at the time were the people actually working on them. And exactly, don't follow studios, follow creators, follow the people that made those games what they are. Fuck the brands. It's about the people, it's about the individuals, it's about the experience and the soul and the passion. That's what people need to care about, and I think a lot of people have just forgotten that. They misattribute the greatness of something to the brand behind it rather than what's on the front, rather than the people that are on the forefront of making those things good to begin with. And it's sad. It's sad that we've forgotten that. Because like back in the day when Crash Bandicoot and Spyro were like a new thing to me, I wasn't sitting there being like, oh my god, I love Insomniac, I love Naughty Dog. I love Spyro, I love Crash Bandicoot. The studio never mattered. Because those games were just those games. That's what mattered to me. You know, I hate to bring up this example now because honestly, fuck Tommy Tallarico, but like, you know, the reason I liked him was because of the music. And I thought that it was all him, and I fell into that trap of, you know, liking the studio because it was my understanding that, you know, that was the thing. But like, you know, it was just like, I wasn't sitting there like, oh, I love Ratchet and Clank because of Insomniac. You know, or I love Insomniac games. It was, I love Ratchet and Clank. I love Jak and Daxter. They've created plenty of things that I don't like. I'm pretty sure, was it Insomniac that did Uncharted? I can't remember, but like, I've never cared about it. I've literally never given a shit about Uncharted. It looks so boring to me. Because like, I don't like those kinds of like story games where it's just like, oh, okay, so yeah, not Naughty Dog. I think, no, Jak and Daxter was also Naughty Dog. Wasn't it? Not Insomniac? Right, yeah. Okay, sorry. Let me get back on track here. Naughty Dog. I've never liked it. Uncharted has never appealed to me because I don't like those kinds of story games where it's just like, you go from point to point, press a few buttons just to get to the next cutscene. You know? It never really looked all that appealing to me. I know there's probably more to it than that, but like there was just nothing in the marketing or any of the gameplay that I watched that was like, this looks just kind of lame. You know, I like story in games, don't get me wrong. You know, and I like story games. It just depends on how it's carried out. You know, like I don't like when it's just like the whole game just feels like a chore in between cutscenes. Or just walking in between cutscenes. I hate that. I can't stand it. It's so boring, and like, you know, sometimes some games like the story is worth it, but you know, just stuff like that. I was never like, oh my god, I love Insomniac or I love Naughty Dog so much, so I'm gonna play this game. No, I didn't care because it wasn't the thing that I cared about. But so many people care only because it has that name behind it. So many people care about Naughty Dog rather than the actual quality of what they put out. If that, like, if that makes sense. You know, I cared about Jak and Daxter. I cared about Crash Bandicoot. And they failed me on those things. Completely. And so when Toys for Bob made a new Crash game, it was like, oh, holy shit, this actually looks really good. And it got lots of really good reviews. I haven't played it yet. I really want to. It's finally on Steam, so I probably will. But, you know, that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, those studios, those names, those brands are irrelevant. I mean, they're relevant when they're doing something good with it. But, you know, Crash Bandicoot was never about Naughty Dog. It was about Crash Bandicoot. And we've lost that, you know? Like, everything's just about whether it's an Ubisoft game, whether it's an Activision game, whether it's, you know, fucking CDPR or whatever, you know, just shit like that. Like, that's all people seem to care about, is whether that brand is attached to it. Quality be damned. But yeah, anyways, I'm fucking rambling. Holy shit, that turned into such a long ass fucking chat, but hey, you know, nothing wrong with that. It was good. But I need to be wrapping up here. It is 6 minutes past stream time. So, you know, not that I'm trying to get rid of anybody, but I need to eat. So yeah, thanks everyone for coming. Good stream. Yeah, good talk. And I will see you guys probably maybe Monday. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you had a good time. Thank you for lurking and chatting, whatever. Thank you for coming. I will see you guys another time. Bye bye.